5 levels of each. So on the real, on the real, on the real, on the level, feels good to be back. So what the deal, what the deal, what the deal, what's doing, where the fuck y'all at? And on the real, on the real, on the real, can't put my finger on that, but sometimes I get this.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Eli from checkit.com here with an After Effects show on everyone's second favorite day of the week, Effects Friday. Holy moly, I say that fast. But anyway, today guys, we're going over this awesome effect. It's a 3D glass effect. Yeah, we make a lot of glass tutorials, but normally that's in Photoshop. So I wanted to make one in After Effects, and you'll notice that the little dots are in here and it's not the best quality. I'm sorry about that guys, but I was on a time crunch today. It's actually 7:40 right now because I was out playing with one of my best friends from high school. We were throwing the football around and then we played basketball. We played football together in high school and we also played soccer together. So it was just fun hanging out with him. So I'm sorry that this tutorial is a little late. But it is Friday, so quit complaining. Goodness, you big babies. Anyway, I thought this was pretty cool. I put it in a galaxy because just made it more interesting. You could put it whatever you want in the background, but I will show you. I will include a 6-second project that was the one you just saw, and we will be making a 10-second project, and I'll render that one at full quality. It's just I couldn't render this one at full quality because it just takes so long to render with that Raytrace 3D. I don't know if my computer just sucks or something, but that's why I dumbed down the quality. I didn't want to take 3 hours to make this tutorial. But anyway, yeah, give this video a like for all the hard work I've been putting in. I've been giving you guys a lot of tutorials, but I love it. I love teaching you guys stuff, and I love the feedback I've been getting. Make sure that you leave a comment, because if you leave an awesome comment, I'll put it at the end of the video, well, my next video. So if you left an awesome comment on my last video, stay tuned to the end of the video to see if you made it to my favorite comments. That was kind of confusing to say, but anyway guys, I think I'm off my ranting right there. Let's get to the tutorial. So you will see that I have this project right here. I'm going to just start a new project, so go up to File, New Project. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click this little button down here to create a new composition. I'm going to be making this at 1920 by 1080. You can make it whatever you want. If your computer sucks, I'd go down to 720p, guys, because ray traced is tough. And like I said, I'm going to be making this 10 seconds, so then I can give you guys kind of two different styles, just to give you guys something to download, and if you're lazy, you don't have to actually do this tutorial. Anyway, I'm going to just name it main and keep the settings like that. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to double click in here and go find the file that I provided for you guys. This is a royalty-free image I found on like Wikipedia. It's really cool. It's just this big galaxy picture. It's massive. That's what she said. Oh my goodness. But anyway, this here's what we're going to do. We're going to click and drag it, and we're going to right click on it, and what you'll notice is that I have the environment layer available here, but you might not have the environment layer available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit F4. If you don't have the environment layer available, which you most likely won't, you're going to need to click 3D layer. Then you're going to need to go up to where it says renderer. And the reason why your environment layer isn't being available is because you're on classic 3D. So go ahead and change that to Raytrace 3D. Then we're going to click in here and we're going to drop down the quality to 1, because we want to work with this stuff, and it is insanely tough to work with if you're not at 1. So we're going to drop the full down to 3rd also, just so it renders a lot faster. So now we're going to right click on the galaxy, and the environment layer should be able to be selected if you just did everything I told you to do. So click it, and it will make a huge environment layer that you can't even tell right now because we haven't created a camera. So that's the next step. Let's right click, go new, camera. And I'm just going to name this camera. I hate when it puts the 1 afterwards. Make sure your depth of field is not enabled, because then you won't be able to see anything in the back. My camera is at custom. I think it's at 20 something. I'm not quite sure. Film size. 2-node camera. I don't know how to tell what it's at, but you can use any of these and it'll look good. So I'm gonna hit OK. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to this blank canvas area. I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna go New, Text, and then I'm just going to type out anything I want. So I'm gonna make this. What should I make it? Oh my goodness, how about Elias? No. Yeah, no. That's actually my real name. I go by Eli, but my real name is Elias. But anyway, what I'm going to do is actually just make it Eli. And if you double click in the text, you can change, what it is, or just select it. I'm going to keep mine on Typographic Pro. And I'm actually going to size it way up, just so, Okay, and I'm actually going to hit the down arrow right here. I'm going to transform it. I'm just going to move the position. Oh, whoops. Control Z. I want to move it down. I'm going to just move it to the center, really. Awesome. All right, so here's where things get very interesting. Here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to toggle on the 3D for this layer. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to notice that there are a lot more options than the normal 3D offers. So I'm going to drop down the geometry options. I'm going to make it a convex bevel. It doesn't matter what you make it. I'm going to amp up the bevel to like 4.4 is fine. I'm going to extrude the depth maybe to, let's just go to 10. All right, now material options. This is where all the magic happens, okay? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to, first, let's go down to the metal, and let's turn that down to like, what, 20? 20 is fine. Reflection intensity, we're going to turn that up to like 13. And the reflection sharpness all the way down to 0. So then it gives the illusion that you're seeing through it, And then you're going to go down to the transparency. We're going to put it all the way up to 98%. Awesome. You can't even see it right now. And then what should we do now? How about transparency roll off? Yeah, we're going to put that up. Whoa. No. Silly thing. We want it at 98. Oh my goodness, fine. I'll type it in. Talked me into it. Goodness gracious. I'm going to turn this one up to like 95. Okay, so let's turn up the specular. And then the specular shininess as well. Alright, so now you'll notice that it's just a bunch of dots. Now what we need to do is we need to light it a little bit. So let's select our camera, go up to this tool up here. It's going to be on Unified Camera Tool, but I like to just go to the Orbital Camera Tool right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this whole project to the side. Okay. Okay, so there's the thing that we want this the E to be right next to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select Eli. I'm going to grab the rotation tool. I'm just going to rotate it until I get it to where I want it. I mean, that's fine with me. Okay, cool. And now what we're going to do is we're going to right click down here in this blank canvas area. Once again, go up to New, Light. Here is where the real magic happens. So the color, you're going to want to match whatever colors you have in here. So I just kind of went in here and I went to purple. I made it light to kind of match these purples over here. What we're going to do is I'm going to make sure that the intensity is like halfway down, like 50. Hit OK. Now we're going to find that light and we're going to go to the active camera and we're going to go to the top. Okay, so let's zoom out. There's our light. So our camera's over here and everything was down over there. So I'm just going to position this, where that light was. It was kind of below, so I'm going to drop it down. All right, then I'm going to go back to the active camera, and you'll see it's over here now, which is cool. And it's giving off light on Eli. And here's also what we're going to do. We're going to go into the light and maybe turn it up a little bit. Okay. Awesome. And now let's, what can we do now? Let's duplicate the light. So I just did Control D to duplicate it. And let's go into the light settings after we move it. Let's move it over to here on the other side, you know, and then let's double click the light and let's change it to a bluish color. So let's grab this blue over here. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay. Then I'll just do it myself. Goodness gracious, you spoiled thing. I'm just going to make it brighter. Awesome. That's perfect. Okay. There we go. Now we're really getting somewhere. So if you want to see what it's looking like so far, I guess you can turn up this. You can actually, half is fine, and we're going to go to Raytraced. And just so we can see it more, let's just bring up to like 2. 3 is what I usually render at because it looks really nice. 2 is in between. That's actually what I rendered the intro as. So let me go over. I still can't see full. It's looking okay. Raytraced. Let me go to 3. I'm just gonna do it so I can see what's going on here. Because right now it's just a bunch of little dots. And so from now on, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just fast forward through these pre-renders when I'm trying to take a look at what we're doing, because you guys don't need to see that. And that's okay, I guess. So, what can we do to make this look better? Let's go back into the text. Alright guys, welcome back. I know that I just did a huge cut, but I know this tutorial is going to turn out way too long if I show you guys how I messed with everything. You just need to play with the settings until you get something you like, because each word is different. Each word will give you a different result. So I kind of like how this is looking now. So I'm going to stick with how I did this one. Here's the settings I used, or you can just download the settings I used. Yeah, I'll just give you a quick look. Just pause the video if you need to. The main thing that you need to mess with is the index of refraction. You need to turn that all the way up to 2. So that's the most important thing, and then it really makes it look like glass. But anyway, I'm going to move forward in the tutorial now. So now that you get your main glass look looking really nice, I'm actually going to zoom out, maybe bring this light closer over here. Crap. I mean, it is glass, you know, it's see-through. So you want to really light it nicely. So, okay, that's looking cool. Now, what we want to do is we want to animate a nice camera going around this thing. So, let's go all the way to the left. And let's turn off, let's turn back down all our settings, because we need to check this a lot. So, bring it back down to 1. You need to get used to how I do that very fast. So now, select the camera, have it drop down. Let's go to the transform options. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab, well, first, let's select and put a keyframe on the position. Then we're going to go up to here and grab our orbital camera tool. And we're just going to maneuver where we want it to start. So maybe up there, you know, like I did in the original, like that. That's looking pretty cool. Maybe a very harsh angle, because this is a 10-second one. So then we're going to go all the way to the end, and we're going to do the opposite. We're going to go all the way up here and go there. Maybe too much. Alright, so I also wanted to zoom in a little bit, because it's all zoomed out right now. So I'm going to go to the camera options, then I'm going to select zoom, and then by the end, I'm going to have it be zoomed in. I'm just going to drag right. And that's all just with keyframes. Hopefully you guys know what I just did there. And here's also what I'm going to do. I'm going to select all these keyframes. Then I'm going to hit, and I did that by clicking and holding shift down. Now I'm going to hit F9 and make them all easy E's. And that just makes the camera look a little more fluid and just look better in general. So now what we're going to do is we are going to add in that lens flare. This isn't required, but I think it makes it look better. So I'm going to right click, go new, solid. I'm going to call this flare. Hit enter, and I'm going to go over to the effects and presets, and I'm going to type in flare. I'm going to use optical flares here. I love optical flares. It's pretty freaking awesome. Alright, so you can mess with the 3D options if you want, but I'm just going to animate it myself because I find it to be a lot faster that way. So first thing I'm going to do is render mode on transparent. I'm going to hit F4 to bring up the blending modes, and I'm going to make that screen so it's better, coloring. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the options, and I'm going to grab a flare that I like more. So the flare I used in the original one was, where is it? Can't remember which one I used, so I'm just going to select a different one that I like a lot. I like Sub-Zero, but yeah, I think I like Sub-Zero better because it makes it feel like Sub-Zero temperatures out in space or something. That's really cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select optical flares, and you'll see there's this little button. I'm going to just drag it over to where I think the thing was, that big splotch, because that's what we're trying to generate, that light out in space. So I think the light would be, somewhere down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and drag. Well, here, first you're going to want to toggle the keyframe for position XY. Then we're going to go over until we find that splotch starting to come in right there. Okay, so now it's there. So we're going to click and drag it over on top of that. Then we're going to click and drag to the end and just animate it to be inside of that little circle. Cool. So now our flare follows that circle, and it took no time at all, and it just looks awesome. Okay, and I think what I'm going to want to do is add easy ease keyframes onto these as well. So F9 on that keyframe. I don't want an F9 on that. And then just make sure it still follows right. It should. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, so now we have that done too. It looks awesome. And the last thing to do is make it look spicy, like in the front intro. So I'm going to right click, go new, and let's just make an adjustment layer. The first thing we're going to make, let's make the coloring first. So I'm going to call this curves, or color, whatever you want to call it. Go over to the effects and presets, and let's type in curves. I like women with those curves. You know what I'm just kidding. I love my girlfriend. Alright, so I'm going to drop this all the way down, just make a really big S-curve to really make it look dark out in space. You know what I'm talking about? Awesome. I'm going to go to red. Let's actually amp up the red. Cool. And then the green, let's amp up the green.
I'm a straight shooter with my 3-point stance, and then I pull them in with my dance trance. I walk down the street with my swagger prance to enhance my chance of having girls in my pants. Inside of my pants I keep my cash advance. The next thing you know I got girls in my pants. 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 So I'm doing this dance.
Alright guys, sorry I had to speed that up. I definitely know that I was messing with that for too long, but just mess with the S-curves until you get something that you really like. Just change the look of it. You can mess with curves and get tons of different looks depending on what you want. So with that, I'm going to move on now. So these are I just showed you the curves I did. Just all differing S-curves. So now I'm going to right click, go new. I'm going to make another adjustment layer. And this time I'm just going to call this EVGA. And I'm going to do a EVGA that is different. Normally, you do instead of adjustment layer, you do a solid and then you set it to a different way. I'm going to actually do it differently. So I'm going to go to brightness and contrast. I'm going to click and drag that onto EVGA. And I'm going to go up to the ellipse tool. Make sure it'll probably be on rectangular tool. Go to the rectangular tool, click and hold, and go down to the ellipse tool. Double click on it. And then what we're going to want to do is invert it. And then we're going to turn down the brightness all the way to -100. Then we're going to go here, and we're just going to turn up the mask feather to like 450. Then we're going to amp up the mask expansion like crazy. And then also mess with these, definitely. Cool. And maybe mask expansion not so much. Yeah, bring back those. Just make it look like space is really closing in on it, you know? Because you kind of lose that feeling of that space is going to like crush it with all those brights. Cool. And with that, we have the animation done. You have your nice glass layer. And this was just, you know, it was a glass tutorial. I showed you how to make the glass in the very front, but it just, I wanted to make it more interesting, and that's why I took it this extra step. And hopefully you guys learned some techniques that you can carry on and teach to your children and your children's children. I'm just kidding. Hopefully you can make money with this, because that's what, at the end of the day, that's how the cookie crumbles. Am I right, guys? So anyways, I'm really glad that I was able to help you guys out and show you guys how to make glass in After Effects without the use of any third-party plugins except for that flare, which, I mean, face it, doesn't need the flare to look cool. It really doesn't. But it adds a little something something. So if you have optical flares, put it in, definitely. So now the last step is we're going to, you know, drag to the right all the way. We're going to go to Raytrace 3D. We're going to make sure it's all the way up at 3. Right there, boom. Hit OK, OK. Turn the quality up to full. Alright, so everything looks pretty nice. I'm going to actually check one more thing. Just that animation of, I'm going to hit 0, and I'm going to just check the entire animation just once more through, because it's going to take an hour to render, and so I don't want to be sitting here, you know, with, and then like it renders that long, and then it ends up not being something that I like. So I'm going to hit 0. I'll bring you guys back in a second. Alright guys, here is what we created. Here's a nice animation. I think it's beautiful. Just wow. I mean, speechless really. I mean, it feels like I'm out in space and I'm looking at a very pixelated version of just sexiness. It's pixelated sexiness. That's the best I can come up with. But anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm going to render this now, and I already showed you guys what I'm going to do. I'm just going to click this, go to options, raise it to 3, because anything over that just takes an insane amount of time. So with that, I am ready to render it. So thanks for watching guys. I guess I will talk to you guys next, whenever I make a tutorial next. I've been making a lot of tutorials for you guys, so yeah, it'll probably be sooner than later, next week. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Make sure you stay tuned, because you'll see your comments. So yeah, peace out guys. I love you.
M-Phazes, good gracious.
Friday flips number 5. Illy M-Phazes on the track. Levels Avicii, cause Flow Rider didn't do it justice. Yeah. Now what am I to do? No time to appease both sides, cause haters will stay mad till the girl's pantyhose dry up. So keep hating, keep bitching, get my profile up. And this is how you flip it, man. Fuck Flow Rider. Don't need to make dance music for you to dance to it, when I can make a crowd bounce with a hand movement. I got a genius on the beat, so don't act stupid. Of course we're gonna crush shit, fuck with, man. Who is you to doubt it? I ram Raid booth down, we tear through, fuck moving round it. Build it without conviction, and no bulk billing or filling out prescriptions, killing our addiction. Took the rap game unfiltered and triple distilled it to drip some real music through your system. So where the IVB, we hook it up on the bi-weekly. Fry flip 5 levels of each. So on the real, on the real, on the real, on the level, feels good to be back. So what the deal, what the deal, what the deal, what's doing, where the fuck y'all at? And on the real, on the real, on the real, can't put my finger on that, but sometimes I get this feeling that I never had before. Stranger things can happen. Rap took me from Frankston line to Lower East Side of Manhattan. My beats loud and my pants sagging. The hip-hop boy, the emos can miss me with the handbagging. You poor diddums with your damn blankets. It's so hard for them. Need a box of tissues and a backhand. And my pockets full of phone numbers wrote on blank napkins. It ain't shit to add a carriage to the bandwagon. Missing in action, been missing the action. Set a 20 plus date to it to rekindle the passion. Cause pardon me.